Hello, hello, hello. I'm Andrea Stevens,
And I'm Jeanette Mejias, and we are Web's Women.
where exposure brings strength. Let's talk
Hey,
about
hey, hey.
strength.
Yeah, let's
Hey.
talk about it. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Is the question. You
Well,
look really good. I mean, you look 100% back on your feet. You do look
thank
great.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel much better. Just for our audience to know, I am still recovering from COVID. So I'm still COVID positive. I contracted COVID right after Christmas. And my husband actually gave me COVID. He went to a social distance dinner a couple days before the holidays, and unfortunately, somebody attended that didn't have symptoms at the time, and it was a domino effect. So he let everyone know that he dined with that he was positive, and lo and behold, everybody that attended got the symptoms, got sick, and then that's kind of how it trickled down to me. Um, I started very mild, so I wasn't really concerned, to be honest. And interestingly enough, it took a different turn. And
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for you, Andrea, for driving all the way to me to bring me your amazing CBD oil that I still am taking and
Oh, good.
administering in my body. And I really am a big ambassador of putting, you know, those products in your body. They're just so helpful, um, especially for my immunity. And but I did have some challenges with breathing, and I had all the symptoms, including the fever. But thankfully, they started to, kind of phase their phase out. Slowly. I'm on a lot of things, a lot of respiratory medication, plus vitamin D and C, and taking the herbal biotic as well, and B12,
Are
and
you taking you're
hmm
taking the herbal
yep, I
biotics?
take it. I take it
Oh,
daily.
good. Good.
So it's been helpful, and breathing, which I've learned from you, has been
Yeah.
very instrumental. Doing breathing exercises for my lungs. I actually got some good fresh air earlier today, so
Good.
I feel good. I'm on my way. I feel much
Good.
better. I feel like the worst is behind me. Very thankful for, the support that I've received from, my uh, community, my yayas, as I refer them to. We're providing meals during the week for my family. Of course, my family doing the same. And, everybody came together, and we're on our way to recovery. And that's the most important thing. So.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad. I know when I came out to your house, I was like, I'm doing the drop. I'm doing the drop.
Doing a drop off.
And when I ran on your porch, I put a mask on and I held my breath from my car to drop off and back to the car. I ran so fast,
I don't blame
trying to
you.
make sure I didn't breathe in any air that was surrounding the house.
I do not blame you. I do not blame you. This is really no
I
joke.
said, I feel a
You're,
little psychotic, but
yeah, you don't want this. Not that anybody's sitting
yeah,
here in line wanting to get sick, but you don't understand the gravity of this virus until you
yeah,
are impacted by it. And
yeah,
I never made light of it. I always was very, doing all that I require to do with washing hands and masking myself up and practicing social distancing and all of that.
yeah,
And but until it kind of arrives to you, and you know, you just don't get it. And
yeah,
now, I look at things very differently now. I mean,
yeah.
I really was at a crossroads. I was borderline being hospitalized. And that's a scary thought. Then you
Hmm.
hear so many things on the news with very healthy people, which I know myself, I'm not the healthiest person in the world. And you hear healthy people are
Yeah,
dropping dead from this virus.
I know.
And then you're
Yeah,
just like, oh my goodness. So this virus really impacts people very differently.
yeah. Yeah,
Thankfully.
and you know what
Jesus.
too?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the media, like you've been hearing about it, right? So when I am 99.9% sure I had it back in March 3rd, when my fever spiked that 102.5,
Yeah.
and I couldn't, my chest and my back, and I couldn't walk from the couch to the bathroom without stopping and gasping for air. I honestly didn't know at the time. They didn't have the COVID tests here. So they didn't have it at the hospital when I went to the hospital, and they didn't have it at the doctor's office when I went. So for me, I, I'm glad if that, I mean, because it was bad. Like I said, I couldn't walk for 8 weeks. I didn't leave my couch.
Oh my God.
I don't even know. Like, I really didn't leave my house, but I couldn't even walk up down my driveway for 8 weeks. And it was so bad with my breathing. Like, I never used a pulse ox to check my oxygen. I didn't do any of that. I just was drinking hot lemon water, taking my herbal biotics. I was, trying to, like, they gave me Tamiflu, but I didn't take the Tamiflu because they're like, you have the flu. I was like, I don't have the damn flu. Like, if this is the flu, I've never had the flu my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
like, ever, or even close to it, if this is the
Yeah.
flu.
Yeah.
And I was so bad. I don't even know. I think back, and I said things to people and text people that I didn't even remember at
Yeah.
all. Like, there was, like, I know I probably should have been checked on probably a little bit more, maybe gone back to the doctor, and I didn't at the time. But think of mentally, I think if I would have known, if I would have known how, how people reacted when they got it all this time up until now, and then I got it, immediately you start wondering about the worst,
Yeah.
Like, I remember laying on the couch thinking to myself, I'm alone. Like, I'm alone with my son here. What if something happens to me? Like, what if I don't wake up? I
Mhm.
kept saying, what if I don't, like, and he's here? Like, I didn't care. Like, I mean, I obviously cared, but I was worried about my son being by
Yeah.
himself. My
Yeah.
husband was working in Buffalo. Nobody was here with me.
That's
I'm
good.
here with, like, who's going to come looking for me?
Yeah.
you know
Right.
so I
Right.
think, and then with the breathing thing, because my dad had lung cancer, and
Yes.
because I watched him gasp for air, I have this fear in me, like this breathing thing. Like, I've always had this breathing thing. I listen to my son breathing. Like, I always listen to him breathe. I did when he was a baby up until now. I listen to make sure he's breathing. Like, I have this breathing thing
Mm-hmm.
that is in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, when I did the drop at your house, you were okay at that point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you weren't 100%, obviously,
Correct.
but you were, your breathing wasn't bad,
Correct.
and so then all of a sudden, when I, like, you'd text me, and then I text you back and you wouldn't respond, and I'm
I
like,
would pass out.
what the
It's
heck is
just
going on?
so weird. I
That
could be
Yeah.
literally texting you in that moment,
Mhm.
and then boom, my head would drop. And 5 hours later, I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I felt like I was out for like 24 hours. Um, it's very
Yeah.
interesting how you do get easily tired um, all the time,
Yeah.
while you're recovering through that process. Um, so, if I have a little bit of burst of energy and
Yeah.
I do a little something, all of a sudden I feel like I did a marathon and my chest
Mhm.
starts to feel like winded. Or and
Yeah.
I feel already like, oh man, I feel like I need to sit down. I feel like I have to now take my inhaler or I need a
Mhm.
treatment, things like that.
Yeah.
Um, it's definitely
I
it does change you. I am
Yeah.
on a whole different level now since I've been touched by this. I just feel like there's just so much stress in this world as it is, right? Because we're
Mhm.
in a very challenging environment.
Mhm.
And right now, like given what I've been experienced or experiencing,
Mhm.
none of that stuff matters anymore. Like
Yeah.
I really am in this place, like I really am preserving myself, my mind, my body, because I want to be here a long time and I want to be able to see my kids, see what they do in life. And
Mm-hmm.
like all the stuff that
Yeah.
I was all amped up about and stressed about and, worrying about this or doing, it's done. It's over. It's
Yeah.
like poof, be gone. It's over with. So, um, if something doesn't get picked up, oh, well, tomorrow's another day. Because before I always was
Mm-hmm.
operating on this place of, I'm always amped up. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do that. Like I felt like if I wasn't constantly doing something every minute of the hour, I'm not being productive, or I have so
Mm-hmm.
much to do, and I,
Yeah.
just had just so much happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now I'm kind of like, it's okay not to have things happening. It's okay to stop, working at the
Mm-hmm.
time you're supposed to stop working and not put
Mm-hmm.
extra 3, 4 hours. What are you doing that for? You're now taking away from your family time. You're taking away from the things that matter. And
Yeah.
then what's happening is your stress levels are there. You don't have a balance. And then,
Mm-hmm.
so you're living in fight and flight. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had a lot of, time to reflect, even in this craziness that I was experiencing. But it
Mm-hmm.
really, like humbled me a lot and helped me understand that life really is too short. And
Yeah.
like whatever people are upset about today, it
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't matter. Like, you
Yeah.
know, you gotta just like let things go, you know, and live, let go and let God
Yeah.
in. Like just be peaceful with yourself and, you know, don't worry about things that are not going to
Mm-hmm.
serve you.
And
All you can
everybody
do is just,
worrying about everybody else that they're not in your house.
or the
They're not in
news,
your
or
house
you're caught up in the
or the
news,
news
right? All
or
the
yeah. Yeah.
garbage that's happening out, like fighting
Yeah.
with each other. You know, that's not going to serve you. Like leave things
Yeah.
alone, live your
Yeah.
life, you
You
know.
know why? Because here's why. Because I'll tell you, I think I remember laying there thinking I couldn't, my mother would call me. Now this is, and when I would tell people after March how I felt and what happened, they'd be like, really, really, really. But until somebody really goes, I guess, can't breathe,
Right.
when you start feeling like my mom would call me and I'd put it on speaker because I couldn't even lift it to my ear. And I'd put it on speaker. I just press a button with my finger and I'd start to talk and I couldn't, I was like,
Yes.
I was like, I said, I can't, I gotta go. And I just hang up. I couldn't even sit. Like it was so, I couldn't even read like on my phone. I couldn't read anything. I was dizzy. Like
Yes.
I couldn't focus at all.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I remember thinking like if this is the way I'm going to go out, like this
Mm.
is the way I am going to go out. And I
Yeah.
remember thinking that. And I think when you like start gasping for breaths, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's scary.
It is very scary.
It's very scary. And and like I said, like I watched my dad and it was the
Mhm.
scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So as
Mhm.
soon as somebody has breathing issues,
Mhm.
I get paranoid,
Yeah.
like freaked out paranoid,
Yes.
which is why I kept messaging your husband.
Yeah.
I'm like, is she okay? Because then I kept thinking, oh my God, what if she has to go to the hospital? Oh my God, what if she has to go? Like I was like freaking out, like she's not answering me. I hope she's okay. And then I go tell Gordon, Jeanette didn't answer me. I hope she's okay. So I messaged Manny. So so I was like, oh
Oh,
yeah. And probably more,
I
probably
know.
more
And I
because
felt bad for
my
Andrea.
fear, my
Yeah, I
fear was
felt for
like,
Manny. I really feel bad with Andrea because I know she really is so concerned for me because of what she's been
yeah,
through and lived through. And he's like, yeah,
yeah.
she's so sweet. She's messaging me, checking. I go, yeah,
Yeah,
because
because you said you had that Paul socks on, and I'm thinking, oh my
yeah, the
gosh, like
full box.
my father wouldn't take that off of his finger.
Oh,
Okay, he wouldn't take it off his finger. I have
yep,
one here because my
yep.
my mom gave it to me. But like when you said I have the Paul socks, I started like,
Oh
oh
God.
my gosh, I can't breathe. I need like give me my CBD, give
Yes.
me my give me my CBD,
Yes.
full strength,
I'm
full
sorry.
strength.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I had
Mm,
to monitor myself because my oxygen levels were very borderline. So, 9
Mm.
95 and above, obviously very good. But
Mhm.
it went down to 89. She says, you have to go to the emergency room. And
Yeah.
my levels were at 90, 90, 91. The
Mm.
lowest was 90. So I was like one off so I was very
Yeah.
borderline. And I remember feeling emotional when I saw that number because I'm like, dear God, if this goes lower, that's
Mhm.
it. My life's going to end in the hospital. That was the narrative I had. And then I was
Yeah.
thinking about all these things. Like I have my mom who's sick, who lives with me, and I care for her.
Yeah.
Obviously I probably get everything I need at that point, right? Fortunately,
Yeah.
you have to probably be on your deathbed to get things, but
Right.
just so many things. So I understand what you're saying. So many things do run through your mind because
Yeah.
you're already thinking about, is this it? Like, is this
Like,
how
and
my
what
life's
if?
gonna go out?
Right.
Like, I'm gonna go out like this?
Yeah.
And thankfully, within a matter of 2 or 3 days, my oxygen levels were very strong. Thank
Yeah.
the Lord. And then,
Yeah.
okay, good. At least I'm not gonna be in the hospital. But I tell you,
Yeah.
a lot of people are getting impacted. I've been seeing
Mhm.
not some, of course in the news you hear it, but community members that I know are
Mhm.
disclosing on social media about, please pray. My husband has COVID or my family's
Mm.
impacted by COVID. And you're
Mhm.
just seeing such a big wave,
Yeah.
kind of happening again. And it's just scary. I just pray that everybody stays healthy and,
Yeah.
um, and just stays, um,
Stay home and not in the
home.
hospital. Yeah,
Right.
can keep you
Right.
home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, I think. So, yeah, but I do think, I think you know what happens is too is after something like that, you start looking like, let's say you go on Facebook and you say, "Oh, well, what's going on out there now?" Right?
Right.
So
Right.
you look and then you see everybody bitching about something, right? And you're like, "Oh my
Like,
gosh,
what? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like I almost didn't like I couldn't take a breath this morning and I'm reading this like whatever." So then you start with the whole whatever, like you can't, you can't be bothered, I think, with any negativity.
No,
You
you
just, you know what I mean? And you
can't
just
handle
kind
the
of,
negativity. You got to really tune that out. And it's not to be like
yeah.
everything is rainbows and unicorns. It's not that. It's that
Hmm.
if you want to choose, you have choice. We all have choices in life. You can
Yeah.
either
Yeah.
choose to be miserable and,
Hmm.
you know, and just fester in
Hmm.
that nonsense, or
Hmm.
you could just choose to just look at things differently and in a
Hmm.
positive light. And I can promise you that you looking things at a positive light is going to be much better than you thinking about toxic nonsense or getting yourself triggered or aggravated by others. I mean, I've
Hmm.
I've been there where I've seen things that's pissed me off. And I'm like, well, why am
Right.
I getting so pissed off about this? After I question
Hmm.
myself, what
Right.
is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something
Right.
that I see
Right.
is really
Right.
like, affecting me in that way. So you
Yeah.
have to take a kind of look at yourself and say, is
Should
this
I entertain this? You mean, if I
correct?
entertain this, where is this going to really go? Like, I
Correct. And
mean,
is it worth it? And then
yeah.
now, given what I've experienced, I'm like, nothing in this world is worth, any aggravation. Like,
Hmm.
just you just can't be in that space. It's
Yeah.
just not. It's not good. And so, if anything, I learned a lot. I mean, I always thought I was a positive person, but I am human and I do have my moments. But I do
Hmm.
recognize when I'm kind of not in my you know, mojo or whatever, for
Yeah.
lack of a better
Yeah.
word. But I started finding because of the environment that a lot of things were just seeping. And I think I talked a little bit about that in prior podcasts. Like I just kind of felt like the weight of the world was coming inside of me. I
Hmm.
felt like I was impacted by world news and all of that was just affecting me in some sort of way. And like I
Yeah.
said, now that I am coming through the other side of this with the virus, I'm just like, oh no, like I just have a whole different outlook. And I'm very thankful for
Yeah.
that. I feel God is just really working, working in me in His way. And I'm
Hmm.
just glad to be alive and to be able to chat with
Yeah.
you and be here today
Yeah.
because, things could have been very different a week ago. And so,
Yeah.
But God
Well,
is
I'm
good.
glad too. Trust me,
Yeah.
I'm glad too.
I know you are.
And you know what? Truthfully, I'm impressed that you can talk as long as you have without really like the
Yeah,
breathing isn't
breathing.
is yeah, because because you were having issue. I mean, when you were explaining to me, I felt like I know I was there. I was
Yeah,
there,
you were
so and I remember
touching it again.
yeah, I mean it's been 3 weeks now, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was the 27th of
Yeah.
December, so it was right after the holidays.
That's when
Uh,
you started feeling some symptoms, but you were exposed before that. So,
Correct.
yeah. So it's been, yeah. So it's been like three
Yeah,
weeks. Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe three and a half.
Yeah, I think I'm going on the fourth week probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the fourth.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I
mhm,
remember by then for me,
mhm.
just to be able to walk my dog, I couldn't even walk my dog down the driveway at 4 weeks.
Yeah,
I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe.
and you have a
I
long
mean, so
driveway too, by the way.
well, it's a quarter mile, but
Yeah.
still I mean, like even to go down, I couldn't go down. Going down is much easier than going up. I couldn't even go down without sitting at the bottom going, shoot, I need
Grasping,
a
right?
car. I need a car to bring me
Yes,
back.
that's crazy. And you know what? I
Like,
find
yeah,
that as I talk to others have been, you know, impacted by COVID, same story about the breathing and the
yeah,
exhaustion, like almost immediate. Um, yeah, I took it easy. I eased back into work this week. Not working, obviously my full hours because it was just not
mm-hmm,
practical. But
mm-hmm,
and yes, I was limiting a lot of my Zoom engagements in terms of um,
yeah,
conversations.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think each day it's getting better. And,
That's good. Yeah, I'm glad. You'll have to tell me if you ever smell random smoke. I thought I was going
God, I
crazy.
smell nothing. So
Well, at some point,
people
like
have
this is
found
months,
rats around
but
me and
look where
bells.
I'm
Yeah,
at though. This is like, but this is a lot later. Like this is okay. So it didn't happen right away, but all of a sudden, like about, I don't know, 4 months ago, maybe
mhm.
I would smell like cigarette smoke in my house.
So weird.
Now I have a nose, like I can smell a mile away. If the neighbor's smoking and he's far away, his house, I smell no matter what. I know that
Okay,
they're
okay.
smoking. No matter where the wind is blowing, I can smell that smoke from a mile away. But in my house, I would be like, who smells that smoke? Anybody smell that smoke? You smell
Well,
smoke? You smell smoke? And everybody thought I was
what
crazy.
like your taste buds?
Um, I randomly, well, I don't remember.
Because
I
I've
was so
lost
stuffed.
taste.
I was so stuffy. I
Mhm.
mean, I've always sometimes have taste things because of my sinuses. So I never really thought about it. That wasn't a thing. There weren't a lot of things talked about back then. Like you
Right,
didn't
right,
hear a lot of stuff. And then you started coming out afterwards.
right.
So for me, I didn't really know what to look for. It was
Yeah,
just,
but you had it.
I just
Yeah.
said, well, I mean, I said to the doctor, well, could I have the flu and COVID? No. Well, yeah, you can. They told me no, but they didn't know. Well, they didn't know anything. They
Uh-huh.
didn't even have the tests. They didn't know. I mean, they called the infectious disease department. They
Yeah.
did do that at least, but they were like, well, she was in Italy, October, so it won't affect that wouldn't affect it now, which I didn't think it would, but I knew that I've never been like that my whole life.
Yeah.
Never. Never.
Good stuff,
I
man.
mean, and I didn't care. The worst part, I didn't care what happened. I didn't care about anything because I couldn't. It was like I didn't care.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I cared about. I wore a mask in my house the whole time from the hospital. I brought some home. I took some for my son. I made him wear it the whole time he was in the house. I wore it. I wore it when I slept. And my husband wasn't here, so it was just us. And my son, he got the fever for the 5 days, just like I did,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it would spike, and then it would
Fever
go
is
back
scary.
normal.
Fever is scary.
Yeah. Especially,
Yeah,
yeah, I had like a 102.5 fever.
yeah, that's
It went up, but then it went down. It would spike and go back down,
right.
spike, go back down,
Me
you
too.
know,
I only had a fever for about 2 days, and then that
mm,
was it. But
it's not bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
you hear
Mine
people
went on
that
for
have
like
it for
5. That's
a
why
long
I say,
time. That's scary when it goes on
y-
that long. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it was worse because it would spike in the middle of the night. It was always at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning
Hmm.
that it would spike, and then it would spike at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Always the same time, which was weird.
Weird. Yeah.
But I would look at the clock to see if it was a pattern for 5 days. And sure enough, it was.
Really?
In the night was the scary part.
Yeah. The night
You
is
know what I
hard.
mean?
Nights are
Because
hard.
at that time, my husband was working out of town. So nobody was here
Yeah.
but me. So I thought to myself,
I'm also
I'm
on a
like, what
CPAP
is going to
too
happen?
for breathing.
Oh, you had your CPAP. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm on that too. She wants
So
me
that
to
works.
stay on that because that actually like helps with your energy, like kind of gives you
Yeah.
a little more energy.
Good. Well,
So
good.
yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah. Good.
just
You
good.
look good. I mean, you look good. You sound good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel good. I mean, probably the best in the last few weeks.
Hmm.
I know I'm not 100%, but I'm getting there. I feel it. And
Yeah.
that's the most important thing that I feel that my
Yeah.
body is, really recovering and, keeping a lot of fluids in my body too, just to keep myself flushed and all that stuff. So good stuff. Um, Thankfully, it turned out
Good.
good. But
Yeah.
I missed chatting with you. I felt
Me
like I was going
too.
through withdrawals
I
talking
know.
to you.
I know.
I'm like, it's so weird that we're not talking like, on the mic. That's so crazy.
I
But
know.
it's good to be back.
Yes.
You look
Yes.
good. It's 2021. You
Yeah.
know,
2021.
it's
I'm gonna
here.
get in the groove.
Gotta,
Yeah.
gotta keep it moving.
Yeah.
2020 is behind us, and you know, on and upward, right? And
Yeah.
I'm excited. You want to let our audience know what uh, they have to look forward to for our guests coming up, right?
Yes. Yeah. So we are still going to have our January guest because we still have 1 week left in
Yeah.
January. Yes. So Root Haig, she's going to be coming on with us and telling her story. She is a successful realtor in Arizona, but she has had some challenges in her life from the time she was young through her life up until really now. And so I think having her on in January and telling her story, I think it will hit home for some people. Um, and in the end, where she is now is, she's in such a better place now, and you'll hear her strength for sure, and just in her voice alone. So I'm excited to hear, to have her come on. I know part of her story, but I don't know the whole thing.
Okay.
And I've known her for a lot of years.
Okay.
But I know, what you know people for a lot of years, and you find out when they tell their story, there's always something that you're like, I didn't even
Yeah,
know
like
that.
yeah, in your mind, you're like, wow, I never knew that about you, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
I'm excited to have her on. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So we'll have, yeah, so she'll be here the last week in January, which is the last Wednesday in January.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, then we'll already move into February.
Can you believe
But
that? Oh my
I
goodness. It's
know.
already
I
going
know.
fast, I feel. I mean, January
It
is
is.
like it's over. And
I
happy
know.
birthday to Blakester. Both of our boys had
I know
birthdays
they both had
uh,
birthdays.
very close, right? When's Blake's birthday?
10th.
Okay. So mine is the 9th. So they're a day apart.
They're close, close.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mm,
super duper close. Yeah.
yeah. Now did he make the double digit
Yeah.
yet? He's 10 or 9?
No, 9.
Oh,
9.
9 going on
9.
19.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
Cobra Kai theme and the cupcakes. It was just so nice. I love seeing
Yeah,
it.
he
Yeah.
loves Cobra Kai.
Oh my God,
I
who
mean,
doesn't? That was what a great season.
did you watch the
I
season 3?
did.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. I know it launched the first, right? That
Yeah.
Friday, January 1st. I didn't watch it till Saturday at like 1:30 in the morning. So of course, I was sleeping like
Oh,
half of the, time on
yeah.
Friday. But it was well done. I was really, I
Yeah.
was happy that Miguel. Is that his name?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I was glad that he recovered. So I was
Yeah.
like so heartbroken.
Spoiler if you haven't watched it yet.
I know, I know. I'm sorry. Oh, maybe I'll have to put that on.
That's fine.
Hey, listen, if you haven't watched Cobra Kai by now, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
your
my
fault.
son woke up on New Year's morning, 7 a.m. And I said I asked him, I don't remember. I think I posted it too on Facebook that day,
Uh-huh.
but I asked him something and he looks at me and he's like, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai. And I was like, it is 7 a.m., dude, 7 a.m. He's like, we got to watch it now.
I,
And we
sta-
binge watched it from 8 in the morning till 2 in the
I
afternoon, the whole
actually,
season.
yeah, I actually got through it. You know, it was very easy to get through that
Yeah. Yeah.
season. But I think I'm going to revisit all the Karate Kid movies because I didn't realize there were so
Mm.
many Karate Kid um movies. I only remember like two of them, and there's like a whole lot of them.
There's 3.
No, there's more than that.
There is?
Yeah, Hillary Swank is also
Yeah. She's the third.
Karate
Yeah.
Kid,
She's the third one.
but there's
There's
uh
another one.
yeah, I'll have to, yeah. There's
Sure.
more. Yeah, because I even said, how the hell was there more than, you know?
I thought there was only 3.
No, I think there's more. I'll have to double check.
You'll have to look because we went back and watched all 3 because Blake wanted to go back
Yeah,
and see. Yeah. After we watched the Cobra Kai season 1 and 2, he wanted to go back and watch Karate Kid. So he knew what he wanted to know what we knew.
right.
So we went back and we watched them. But I didn't want to watch the third one. He didn't want to watch the third one. But I wanted to make sure he watched 1 and 2 because I knew that parts of 2 would be in the season 3 of Cobra Kai. So I wanted him to, know what he was watching when he went back to Okinawa. Another spoiler.
Yes. Another spoiler. That was a good one. I have
Yeah.
to say, they did a good job with this,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
So,
I'm totally enjoying it. It takes me right on back.
yeah, and I like the whole with Johnny and Allie. I like that whole little
Yeah.
their history and stuff like that. And she looks fabulous.
Yeah.
She's
She does.
timeless, you know?
Yeah.
She looks
Yeah.
better.
I always liked her.
Me too.
She was in that movie when I was young, Adventures in Babysitting. And
Yeah, and she
I
also
remember liking that movie.
yeah, and she was in with what's his name? Oh my goodness. It was an Invisible Man with Kevin oh geez. What's that actor's name? Anyhow, she was in
I
this
don't think I
movie.
saw that. I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like on a scientific
Mm.
part of it. I don't know. It
Oh.
was good. She plays a good role.
Mm.
She's one of
Huh.
like the doctors or whatever.
Oh.
But
Yeah, I like her.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was, I'm excited to watch. I want season 4 to come out
Oh
now.
my God. Do we know when that's coming out?
I don't even know if they filmed yet.
Yeah.
I know that they approved. I think I think it's all approved and ready to go, but they didn't. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Blake's been watching video after video, YouTube video after.
Me being sick, I was like watching everything under the sun. I saw the Bridgeton. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but that was
No.
actually very, very good. On Netflix.
What is it called?
Bridgeton?
Oh, I'll
I
have to
think I'm
look.
saying it wrong. I need to get my facts right before I go on. Whoever is listening to
But
me,
this is the real and raw, right?
yeah, I
So,
think whoever is listening to me knows what I'm talking about.
yeah.
But it's very cool because it's like the women are dressed, in the corsets and
Mhm.
it's in that time. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that kind of stuff. So, and actually,
I'll have to look into it.
yeah, it's really good. Actually, they were rated maybe number 1 or 2 in terms of watching. You know how Netflix rates, they do the top 10, and
Yeah.
they were, I think,
It was in the top 10.
number 1 or 2 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah. Pretty neat. Pretty neat.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't talked to you in so long. What else happened in the last 2-3
I
weeks?
know, right? I know. It's It's crazy. It's really crazy.
But
Um,
everybody's been indoors, right? Most of us at
yeah,
least have been indoors. So it's like, what are you watching? What are you watching?
right,
What are you eating? What are you eating?
right, right. I saw you drinking a
Yeah.
nice little green drink. What were you having?
Oh, this is my shake, my
Oh,
Arbonne
nice.
shake from Ruth. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
As I was chomping on chips earlier.
Yeah.
That
Listen,
I
I'm
can't
trying to
even
like,
taste. I can't even taste the damn chips.
you can't.
But I want it. I want it salt and vinegar. I'm trying to kind of bring my
Yeah.
taste buds to life. So
Yeah.
and it's not.
You can't taste any of it?
No, no,
Not even a little bit? Not even a
not
tang?
even a little teeny bit. So I had to just
That
stop eating
sucks.
it. That's what sucks. Like, so food is not really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Everything just doesn't taste at all. Either it doesn't
Yeah.
taste at all or it doesn't taste right. And then you're like, all right,
Mm,
let me
yeah.
have a glass of water. So sometimes the water doesn't taste that right either. It tastes like, to me, like
Mm.
lead, or it's just
Ugh.
awful. Yeah, and it's bottled water. I'm drinking bottled water, but
Yeah.
my taste buds are just all jacked up. But hopefully
Yeah.
soon. I actually went and got Hank's hot sauce, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna just start pouring hot sauce on everything I eat. So,
Next thing you know, you're gonna be like, I don't understand why I have agita.
yeah,
Like,
right. I don't know if I have a burning feeling in my esophagus. Oh, so crazy, so crazy. Well, so good to hang out with you. I
You too. You too.
I just, like I said, I can't thank you enough for your support and checking in
Oh,
on me,
well,
taking
I
care.
don't think I felt like I couldn't do anything. You know
No,
what?
oh my
They
God,
feel
and I'm
helpless.
addicted to those honey sticks. I have to get.
Oh, those honey sticks. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They are amazing on toast. Oh my goodness.
You can't even taste it.
Well, here's the thing. Before I lost my taste, because I didn't lose my taste right away. So
Yeah.
you gave me that stuff very early on. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Because I could really taste the honey. It was
Yeah.
so delicious.
Yeah.
So I'll get my taste
Well,
buds
I'm glad.
and I'm gonna get it again because it's delicious.
Well, I'm
But
glad you like them.
yeah, it was great. And I like the idea of putting it on toast. Which I
I came with a little bag and I was like, what can I throw in here? What can I throw in? You know, and I'm
oh my God, it was like Christmas. I was like, oh my God, this is like amazing.
I mean,
So
I didn't know what, you know, I
yeah,
know that, CBD helps, but I just,
yeah.
I know, I mean,
Definitely not gonna
I
hurt.
can't say, I can say what people say,
Right,
but I can't, give advice. So
right,
I
right.
knew that it would help. So I just started, she should try
Yeah,
this. You should try this. And then I'm like, don't try it all at once, but you should
yeah,
try
you I
this.
know.
This.
I definitely, I mean, even before I came down with all this, and I've been taking the CBD, the gummies,
Mhm,
I felt a difference with it being in my body. Just, sleeping better and,
mhm,
just feeling more leveled,
mhm.
not feeling pain in my body as much, because
The inflammation. Yeah.
yeah. And you just feel it, and even
Mhm.
when you stop taking it, you start to be like, oh crap, I need to put the gummies, like, I need to get back to that. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that, I'm fully
I'm
stopped.
bummed though you can't taste because I just got my line here. My line is here, and I
Oh,
have a blueberry. I have a
oh,
blueberry tincture that I'm like, ooh, she's gonna love. I
oh,
always think like, who's gonna try this
I
first?
love blueberry. I love
And I
anything
know you're up
blueberry.
to try any of it, so I'm like,
Yeah. Oh my
yeah, but so
goodness.
get your those taste buds back.
Yeah, maybe the Hank hot sauce will rub things up for me. Who knows?
Yeah, be
I'll have to
careful.
keep you posted. Be more than happy to be your guinea pig.
Make sure you have Tums on hand
Oh God, yes.
just in case.
Yeah. Well, as always, so good to out with you, Andrea, and to our
You
audience.
too.
I just want to say, thank you for your support and supporting us. And stay healthy. And remember, we are Webs women.
Where exposure brings strength.